Back to the council. How are we all? We're not muted, are we? Are we muted?
No, it might be in my headset. Sorry, there, Con.
Oh
It
no.
sounded like you were muted.
There we
Sorry, man.
go. Anyway, but hello everyone. Hopefully all of you are on a fantastic day from wherever you are around the world. And if you are transitioning from Jack Chanel, yes, we are continuing the post match session, the match preview for, of course, Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest, or Nottingham Forest versus Liverpool. Of course, it's a very long time since both teams played one another, certainly in the Premier League. Of course, two teams played each other in the FA Cup last season. Of course, thanks to Diogo Jota's, I think, very late winner. I think 78th minute winner last season as well. So again, a very, very tough game for the Reds yet again, and it does make it 10 times worse that it is at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon, however you want to consider it anyway. But as you can see, I'm joined by Jack from the Anfield Road TV. How are you doing, my friend?
Not too bad, mate. Sorry, chat. I literally thought Connor was on mute, but we move. Looking at yours.
I think that it doesn't just quite beat the intro of the fact where you fell off your chair and you were stuck. So we've had some good intros.
Everything magical happens when me and you are like in a video, lads. So,
to be fair, we are like the Chuckle Brothers, or Laurel and Hardy. There we go, Laurel and Hardy. Yeah. To be fair, but Brian's in as well, saying hi, Connor, as well. Elscouse is in it, saying evening again as well. And Flip Reverse, yeah, it's my turn now. I hold the power now. To be fair, anyway. But cheers, Jack, as well. As well. But yeah, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. You're nervous? Are you excited for Nottingham Forest away, of course? And as well, let us know your score predictions, your team predictions down below in the comment section. And also, please hit that like button, please hit the subscribe button as well, because I think we are 2 subs away from 7. I want to say 760 or 770, but I think it's 760. I think we're 2 subs away from that. So if we could get there, then please very much help the cause as well. But so if Trent doesn't get in the team, as far as what does that do to his confidence? It'll be a big question that we will speak about in a minute. Elscouse as well. Hello again, Reds, as well, for Eamon as well. So thank you for everyone changing over to our channel anyway. But yeah, it will be interesting, Jack. Anyway, but we will talk a little bit about the opponents first of all. Nottingham Forest. I think you just put a great stat on the fact that Liverpool haven't beaten Forest away from home in the Premier League, at least, well, at all. Realistically, do you want to tell us the stat?
I've closed all my tabs down now.
Well, basically, Liverpool
in the Premier League era.
Yeah,
I think we've had 3 draws and 2 losses anyway at the Forest ground,
which isn't the best. And of course, if you look at Forest, obviously a very busy summer. Of course, signing 22 players in the summer, which was ridiculous.
I think they're still doing the initiation videos afterwards, and
it could be
like the signing initiations. I swear I've seen like a video last week of like the Forest players like singing. It's like mad.
Actually, to be fair, I think it's 23 signings. I think they signed Serge Aurier after the window had closed, so I think it's now 23. To be fair, so even still, ridiculous amount of numbers. Of course, and a couple of weeks ago, of course, former Liverpool academy coach, of course, Steve Cooper, obviously done an amazing job at Forest, particularly last season. Of course, I think it was 9 games they were in to the championship season, and managed to gain Premier League promotion, which again was terrific. I wanted to get that word out correctly then. And again, you look at it, of course, Liverpool and Forest have an old historic rivalry. Of course, 2 of the big boys, historically, some of us, have Champions League pedigree, unlike other clubs. I will say that. But again, you look at it, of course, Liverpool and Forest haven't played each other for quite some time anyway. But what's your overall thoughts on the Forest, Jack? Because I think for me, I said before the start of the season, I thought they were the most likely team to stay out to the bottom zone of the drop zone. But for some reason, of course, and taking into consideration, like we mentioned, the 22 players, it takes some time for everyone to gel together and to get probably your first team together realistically for Forest.
Yeah, and I think always off the back of last season, us all playing in the FA Cup, it was a sight for in terms of understanding how they played, in terms of the performance they put in against us last year was fantastic. as you alluded to there, Con, shall we all watch that game? And another night, if Forest did take their chances, they had quite a couple of decent ones. It could have been a very difficult result on night. But yeah, it's always going to be difficult when you bring in that many amount of players in it in terms of getting the rotation, the really understanding within all of them. But yeah, it's going to be difficult going there, obviously with the crowds as well. I think they'll be rightly up for it as well in terms of being out the big time for such a very long time. And it's an early kick-off. Liverpool, as we said this season, played against Fulham. It was a disappointing start in that game, and hopefully we just hit the ground running tomorrow, mate, and we get really the performance that we're all wanting. But the attitude's really got to be right tomorrow.
Yeah, no, absolutely agree with you on that. I think obviously we have to go straight for the jugular straight away, like we saw against City, like we saw for about 10 minutes of West Ham, just going straight at them. Because I think the big thing for Liverpool this season, in my opinion, Liverpool haven't conceded many goals this year that have been good, if that makes sense. It's been, our mistakes and our problems that have caused, because we've said plenty of times this season where, it's the same move that's breaking Liverpool and it's the same issue. There has been, of course, a few good goals against Liverpool. I'm not saying that, but I do think once Liverpool ironed out those problems, like we've seen obviously the last two games against City and West Ham, once they've ironed those out, we've kept 2 clean sheets, which, again, Liverpool are at their best when they're defensively solid. And I said this on your stream as well. Liverpool have decided to get rid of this high line for now. It will come back, when Liverpool gain more confidence and against certain teams. I do fully expect it to come back. It's not dead. It's not completely gone. But for the time being, I'm liking the fact that Virgil van Dijk and Joe Gomez, and as you mentioned as well, Trent as well, they're so deep that they can see the entirety of the pitch. Yeah. Which I like. And of course, you're going to have, damage. You look at West Ham. If West Ham were a bit more clinical, they would have definitely scored, 1 or 2 goals against us on Wednesday. But it's the fact where I think, like just iron out those problems and having, more importantly, I think Virgil van Dijk a bit deeper is massively helping Liverpool, not only at the back, but going forward as well, where, it's that reliability where, all right, if you get past Van Dijk, you then have Alisson. But, just to get past Van Dijk is a challenge in itself.
Yeah, and you come from the Championship, haven't they? The set plays and set pieces. They're going to be rough with us tomorrow, and we need to be, as you said, mate, and Virgil's a massive point to that in terms of stamping his authority on the game. They'll try and get the crowd on song, but if Liverpool do get a nice early goal, it really settles the nerves and just lets Liverpool sit that bit deeper and then just try and let Forest onto us now. In reality, they're a side that haven't, in recent weeks or recent months really in this Premier League, they haven't really scored a lot of goals, and that's probably one of been their main issues in terms of the young lad that they signed from, obviously, here for Berlin, Liverpool's Taiwo, the young academy lad that we had on our books. Just didn't really get his opportunity. He's got 1 or 2 goals in the Premier League, but he hasn't really set the league alight as of yet. Touch wood, hopefully it doesn't happen tomorrow. But he will 100% have a point to prove. Same with Nico Williams as well, mate, the lad you've got in your thumbnail. He's going to be wanting to come up against Liverpool and really set the bar, really, in terms of what Liverpool are potentially missing out on, his qualities. But yeah, it's a lot of subplots, really, coming into this game, and I think it just adds really to the magnitude of the game too. As you already alluded to, we all know the European pedigree on offer by both teams, and as I said, their crowd will be itching at the bit to really hopefully getting 3 points against an arch rival really in Liverpool.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely agree with you as well. I think the big thing, obviously, like you mentioned, there's a few different and obviously old links towards Liverpool. Of course, Steve Cooper to begin with, Neco Williams, like you mentioned, put in the thumbnail. Judging by the predicted teams as well, it looks like Neco Williams will be playing left back tomorrow, which will be interesting. Of course, they've got Serge Aurier potentially playing at right back as well. And yeah, Taiwo Awoniyi, I think if Doug's in the chat, he'll probably butcher me for that as well. Obviously, last season had a decent campaign for Union Berlin, which of course made Forest aware of him. And again, we all hope Obviously not tomorrow, obviously, but obviously we hope that he does kick on, because he did look really, really good at Union Berlin. And as things stand in Germany, of course, Union Berlin are currently top, I believe, or second in the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
So again, they're doing tremendously well at the moment, as well. Anyway, but Dave's in as well, saying the lads as well. Hello, Dave. Hope you're having a fantastic day, my friend. Gary's going 4-4-2. Ali, Gomez, Phillips, Van Dijk, Robertson, Hendo, Fabinho, Jetic, I keep saying his name wrong. Milner, Salah, and Elliott. 4-0. Bloody hell. Team, just score prediction is wow. Team predictions even more wow. I just want our players not to think it's going to be an easy game as well. Yeah, and I think that's the mindset going in, isn't it? Mark, as well, is to not have that mindset like we had against Fulham, like we've had against other teams this season, where we just overthink them and go, oh, we've got Champions League midweek, we'll easily get over this. No, Forest are a decent side. This season, as I said on Jack's channel, there's no easy Premier League games this season. There's just not. Every single away game is tough this season and absolutely solid anyway. But top of the morning, Dave, as well, says Gary, I thought Forest home games would keep them up. I'm doubting it now, says Eamon as well. Yeah, exactly. And we said that was the key factor, wasn't it? They could get results, against top teams, and against teams all around them at home. That would be so important and so crucial for them to stay up. But obviously, so far, like you look at the goals, they haven't scored in their last two league games. And again, you look at just games in general. I think the last time they scored over 2 goals, which was 2 or above goals, was that 3-2 defeat to Fulham a couple of weeks ago as well. So again, goals are a problem at the moment for Forest. But again, it's that that gelness of the team where when you sign 22 players within the squad, it's hard to get a continuity within the squad, isn't it? To be fair, but let me read.
Yeah, scored 7 and conceded 23. So, as I said, it's
not the best, is it?
Not the best.
Yeah. Certainly, I think the funniest thing coming out of Forest is Dean Henderson acting like Randy Orton. When you've got TikTok,
I've missed that.
Have you not seen this?
No, I haven't seen it.
After he concedes all the time, he just slams the ground. It's like Randy Orton.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen that. Yeah, after the game. Yeah.
The TikTok thing, yeah. But he does it every single goal. If you go back and watch Forest's goals this season, he does it every single time, which hopefully we'll see a lot of tomorrow.
Must have got that all from his ex-Man United players, isn't it? The childish nature to his.
Probably. Anyway, but obviously still at loan. Still at Man United. Stars all over those shirts as well. Yeah, exactly. Can't have it for some certain teams, but you know what we're talking about. Evening, lads. Hope you're well as well. Hello, Chris. Hope you're having a fantastic day, my friend. Liverpool Forest a beating as well. Hopefully, Gary. Hopefully. Never easy going to Forest, but got to fancy our chances with our recent form as well. Absolutely, Chris as well. Doug can barely pronounce his own name, Connor as well. Doug's pretty good with it. To be fair, Doug, he always has to go at me and Jack with pronunciations. And to be fair, he's most right on some of them. To be fair, England's goalkeepers, man, they're all mental these days. Look at Joe Hart; he's the prime example for it. To be fair,
absolute nutter, isn't he, Joe Hart?
Like I still like that meme of him. Was it the Euros, the World Cup? I think it was the World Cup. Wasn't
He's
it?
swearing at the ball boy, like kicking the air.
The ball is so funny anyway. But anyway, we'll get moving on then from Forest, and we'll quickly talk about, of course, the main man in the thumbnail, and of course the main man at the minute at Liverpool, of course, Mr. Darwin Núñez getting his first Anfield goal for Liverpool, of course, against West Ham. But unfortunately, and of course, this isn't 100% him being out for tomorrow. I'm going to put that as a disclaimer now. But of course, Jurgen Klopp speaking about the problem with Darwin at the minute, saying that obviously tight hamstring, he had treatment yesterday. So we will see from Jurgen Klopp there as well. Obviously, if you guys were watching his press conference earlier on, of course, he did mention that he did feel something towards the back end of his minutes against West Ham, and then was taken off because we were all wondering, why is he taking Darwin off? We all thought it might have been for longevity over the next couple of games, of course, but of course now we know that he is a doubt for the West Ham game as well with a hamstring injury. Anyway, so of course he's not fully out, but he is a major doubt for the Forest game anyway. But Jack, what would you do if you were Jurgen Klopp? Because I think it's interesting because obviously at the moment, Luis Diaz being out, Diogo Jota being out, definitely, until after the new year anyway. But what would you do? Do you think that, Liverpool should bench, Darwin Núñez because then you have the option there? Or do you think that, he should be, if he's, let's say, 80% okay, he should still start for Liverpool? But what was your thoughts? Do you think, what should Klopp do with Darwin for tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, we spoke to chat as well, didn't we? Everyone, in terms of you're always left in that predicament with certain players. Do you start them, then you get injured, and then you're like, well, but for me, mate, at the minute, the way Liverpool's attacking players are dropping like flies in terms of Núñez potentially being out for a couple of weeks if the injury is believed what it is anyway. Obviously, we're missing Luis Diaz for a very long time, Jota as well. So we're very hard pressed in terms of the attacking line. And this is what we spoke about when we did lose Divock Origi anyway. If Liverpool were to get injuries in the attacking line, then we're very hard pressed. And I think it will be a case of if Núñez is out injured for the next couple of weeks, we will see Mohamed Salah thrust in that central area, probably where he wants to play, most importantly. So, yeah, if Núñez is injured, I'm not wanting to start him. If he is feeling something, Salah's fully capable of playing through that middle and getting the goals really tomorrow afternoon, mate. So, yeah, I'd go with Salah through the middle. Leave Núñez on the bench if we need him, and if the game is going hopefully not the way that we're anticipating, then we bring him on for like a 15-20 minute period, and you'd hope that he wouldn't aggravate the injury even more.
Yeah, 100%. No, I absolutely agree with you. I think, look, should go. I've seen just Chris's comment and Eamon's comment as well. But it's the fact where, if there's a 1% chance of him potentially, putting more strain on that hamstring, I wouldn't even put him in the squad, in my personal opinion. Look, again, attacking options would be very, very short, but I think Roberto Firmino and Mohamed Salah should be enough against Forest. And as well, look, maybe you might put someone from the under-21s, under-23s, maybe you might look at, a certain player or not. But again, obviously, Ox being back, that's a boost if you want an attacking option, and so on as well. And again, obviously, Liverpool could potentially play, go full on, hopefully, get 1 or 2 goals, and then maybe defensively then might just keep that clean sheet and be a bit more, defensively safe for the rest of the game, and take off obviously Bobby and Mo as well, to be fair. But guys, let us know your thoughts anyway in the chat down below as well. But for me, I would 100% not play Darwin if he was to have that hamstring problem worsened. Then again, of course, we're looking forward to 6 weeks then without Darwin Núñez, which again, that would take him out until after the World Cup.
I hope he's not injured, mate. I think we're all hoping.
Yeah, we're all hoping. But again, just do not risk Darwin Núñez. He's better, to have him over the next couple of weeks instead of after the World Cup. Anyway, but the Heart started it all. They're all bloody mental, says Brian as well. Yeah, absolutely. Núñez is a doubt. Yep, he is. The injury, Master Saga continues. Yeah, it's not the best, is it, at the moment? When is Canate fit, says Gary. He is fit from Monday onwards. He's in full training on Monday, as well as Naby Keita. So
please, for the love of God, don't brush Canate back.
No,
just
keep him upset. But yeah, Monday, I think David Lynch mentioned, him and Naby are both fit from Monday onwards to take part in full training, which is great news, to be fair. But no chance I'd play him on a hamstring. It's Forest, will be fine as well. And everyone's gone. Just rub Núñez down with a wet lettuce, keep him for Ajax as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Was it wet paper towel anyway? Just whack it on there.
Not a bad shout with the letters, as it can outlast a PM as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
As well. We won't talk too much about that, but yeah, what an absolute joke that is at the moment. Can't afford to bench Nunes if fit
Mm,
as
yeah.
well. Absolutely. But if Nunes bangs in more goals, would work on his confidence as well. Well, I put it on Twitter. He currently has, a better. I know XG doesn't really count for anything, but in terms of attacking positioning and in terms of actual goals, he's currently outperforming every striker in the Premier League at the minute, including Erling Haaland. So, just by stats, it looks very promising, doesn't it, for Darwin Nunes? But of course, has to stay fit for that as well. But let's unleash Mo, flanked by his two. Yeah, absolutely. El Scouser as well. But if Nunes bangs some goals, yeah, I already read that one out anyway. But we'll get on then to start 11 prediction, because there isn't many else injury news. There's no fresh injury news. Looks to be that everyone is okay from the West Ham game, apart from Darwin Nunes. Anyway, judging by Klopp's comments, obviously Klopp was just speaking today about the new system change. And of course, he did speak a little bit about Stevie G losing his job at Aston Villa. Of course, we spoke about that on Jack's channel. So if you guys want to check that out, go over to the Anfield Road TV. Anyway, but Jack, what would be your starting 11 for tomorrow afternoon?
I'd go with Ali in goal, Trent, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robbo, Fabinho, Thiago, Carvalho on the left, Bobby, Elliot on the right, and then Salah up front, mate. I'd go with that. All out attack.
That's exactly what I'd go for. I think that's. I could take the banner down for you guys anyway, but that would be my starting line prediction as well. I don't think, I don't think there's much you can play around with at the moment, so especially with Liverpool's injury issues. But again, I think that right now is Liverpool's best 11. I know plenty of people could be asking for James Milner to potentially play at right back, which again I wouldn't be against, especially with a tough game against Forest, and especially with Trent's lapse in concentration at times at the moment. So again, guys, let us know your thoughts. But for me, that would be my starting 11 lineup, because I think that's probably Liverpool's best attacking lineup going forward as well. So it'll be interesting. And again, there's not much you can play around with. Maybe Curtis Jones maybe comes in on the left instead of Carvalho, but again he hasn't had much game time or much training time. Realistically, of course, he hasn't really been part of the training squad, as he, since the first couple of weeks of pre-season, I think. And then of course, obviously the midfield Ox, could potentially come on and provide attacking options. Obviously, could also play right back if that was ever necessary. Of course, he did play there for Arsenal, many moons ago, and so on. So again, there is options on the bench, but in terms of a starting 11, I think that's more than definitely Liverpool's best XI at the moment. Anyway, but we'll get on then to score predictions anyway, because I think many people are going to have different thoughts and different opinions in a moment. But Jack, I'll go with you. I'll ask for score prediction and goal scorers.
Yeah, sorry, Dale. I was just ordering me food. Just ordering
Wow.
me food. That's what I was looking for. Sorry, La. I'm going to go 3-1, mate. I'd love Liverpool to keep a clean sheet. But I think I'm going to go, hopefully Liverpool get a nice early goal. But yeah, I think they will. Forest might get a goal, but I'm going to go 3-1, mate. And it just does a world of confidence if we do quite a lot past them, especially for Mo and certain other players as well. If Carvalho can get his nice early goal, that would be really nice if we can get that done. But yeah, I'm going to go, 3-1, mate, to Liverpool.
I'm going to go 2-0. I think Liverpool keep their third clean sheet in 3 Premier League games. It will be interesting though. Obviously, Liverpool's track record scoring first isn't the best at the moment. Of course, a bit better over the last couple of weeks in this new system change. It's looked a lot better, but of course that record is still, I think it's 16 in the last 20 games. Liverpool conceded first in all competitions, which again isn't the best, is it? If we're being perfectly honest. But Brian's got Ali, Trent, Gomez, Virgil, Robbo, Fabinho, Thiago, Carvalho, Bobby, Elliot, and Mo as well. I'm going for a 2-0 win as well. Brian agreeing with me. with that as well. And 3-1 to Liverpool, Mo, Elliot, and Virgil as well for Mark as well. So again, we're all going, very high. It's not, we're not going crazy. We're not going 6 and 7s like, what we would have done probably this time last season.
Never
But
me though.
no, definitely not you. Definitely not you. But definitely didn't do it against Man United away from home. But you were right that time.
Don't speak about that.
Yeah, no, we don't. Well, we do but we don't at the same time
Not
anyway.
this one.
But for me, guys, I think look, the best thing that could happen tomorrow is no injuries. That's the number one thing, and just 3 points. Doesn't matter how you do it. Doesn't matter if it's 1-0, 2-1, 3-2. Doesn't matter. It's just get the 3 points tomorrow. Because of course, when Liverpool, we could be, above United tomorrow on goal difference. Of course, United and Chelsea both play each other, so that's points taken off one another. So it's such importance now. The fact that Liverpool, even though we've had this crap start to the season, it's the fact that if we could get back within a point of the Champions League space, who knows what could happen, because we're only 11 games into the season. They still, I think, as the chat was going off in Jack's stream, 90 odd points is still available at the moment. Anyway, but that's fair enough. Anyway, but Jack, I think you have to head off, my friend.
Yeah. As I said, thank you. Always a pleasure, mate. As I said, apologies about that chat anyway. As I said, we'll be live. Connor, you will have obviously a post-match reaction show tomorrow. And hopefully we'll get Connor on for that as well, mate. But thank you very much for having me on, mate.
Practically, chat. He's got to go for Scran. He's been told off twice.
Yeah, so. But yeah, right. Thank you very much for having me on, mate, as I said. And chat, have a lovely rest of your Friday evening. And hopefully the Reds do get all 3 points tomorrow.
Hopefully.
But thanks one for that, lad. Appreciate
it. No problem, lads. See you in a bit. So there we go. That's Jack's predictions anyway. But guys, let us know your prediction before we do head off anyway, because we are going to go heading off on the half-an-hour mark. Anyway, short stream tonight anyway, and then of course we'll be live tomorrow after the game, which should be around 3 o'clock, hopefully, or it might go a bit later. Don't know yet, depending on what it will happen anyway. If Liverpool lose, we're not going live until tomorrow night. That's the best thing anyway. But Anthony's saying 25-0. And that's the only time you're going to support Liverpool, Anthony. We already know, you're already bitter enough on Twitter. To be fair, anyway. Forest 1, Liverpool 4, Reds for me as well, says Awen as well. But I think a clean sheet will be hard as well. Will be hard tomorrow, but again, I think if we're playing this new system, I think Liverpool do look a lot more solid. I think anyway. So fingers crossed anyway. But knowing Liverpool will end up conceding their first minute or something like that. But Milner giving Steve Cooper a 2-footer down the tunnel as well. Bloody hell, Ant. Bloody hell. 3-0 to us as well, says Philip as well. Thanks, Jack, as well. Mods, if you could leave Anfield Road TV's channel link in the description, bloody hell, in the comments, then please do be very much appreciated as well. Clean sheet and 3 points as well, says El Scouser, and 2-0, says Panov as well. It will be interesting. I think, look, Forest, they've had a very, very tough time. I think if you just look at it, again, the last couple of games, 0-0 against Brighton, 1-0 loss against Wolves, 1-1 against Villa. It's been hard, hasn't it, the last couple of weeks, for teams in around them. And of course, now they're playing one of the big boys in Liverpool. So again, it's going to be tough for both teams. I feel, if Forest is on it from minute one, it depends, I think, on how the stadium is, because if the stadium is rocking, then of course it's going to be tough. But again, 12:30, we've seen it at Anfield, haven't we? How it's been like over the last couple of at 12:30 and so on. Fans are not up for it at that time, so you don't know, do you, realistically, as well. But let me know, guys, your thoughts in the chat before we do head off anyway. Hate the Forest with a burning passion. I know you hate Forest with a burning passion, but it is funny to see you have a meltdown anyway. Cheers for having me on anyway. Absolute pleasure having you on, Jack, as well. And have Forest played any of the top 6 yet? Yeah, they played, I think, City they've played. They lost 6-0, so that's anything to go off. Let me double check with that. To be fair, Let me quickly have a look at their last couple of results. Anyway, but I think, yeah, the only one I can remember off the top of my head is that they've played City, and that's all I can remember. Yeah, they lost 6-0 to City. They played Spurs as well. Um, that was a 2-0 defeat to Spurs. So they've played Spurs, they've played City, and that's about it on who they've played in the top six as well. So again, it will be interesting as well anyway. But the stadium, as it always has been, always, no matter the time of day as well, for God's sake, Anthony, as well. And also, of course, Jack's link in the channel, in the I keep on saying description. It's in the comments down below anyway. And Charlie's in as well, saying played Spurs. But yeah, they lost 2-0 to Spurs and lost 6-0 against City as well. So again, not the best results for Forest. And again, if Liverpool could do similar to what they did to Crystal Palace many moons ago away from home, I think that was at 12:30 as well. Hopefully that will happen again. I think we won 7-0 that day as well anyway. But guys, thank you very much for all of you for tuning in anyway. Again, I very much appreciate all the support on the channel. So if you're new around here or viewing us for the first time, then please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button as well. I believe we're on 16 likes, so if we can get to 20, then that would be very much appreciated as well. It'd be very much appreciated because again, the support is huge as well. To be fair, and guys, again, thank you as well anyway. But again, it'll be interesting, wouldn't it? But great stream, Connor, as well. Charlie says, any people on this stream not won a European Cup? Exactly. Who's not won a European Cup? Cheers, Connor, as well. And you never walk alone from England as well. Yeah, absolutely brilliant, Con, as well. But get Connor onto 20 likes for each point Forest will get this season as well. Whatever helps your cause, Anthony. But yeah, if you could hit that like button, we very much appreciate it as always. And again, hit the subscribe button as well if you're new and liking the content as well. But yeah, hopefully, guys, we'll be live tomorrow with our post-match reaction after the game. Hopefully, Liverpool beating Forest. That will be the hope and dream, and hopefully Liverpool can make it 2 for 2 for having very positive weekends anyway, to be fair. But hopefully all of you have a fantastic rest of your Friday, and hopefully have a fantastic weekend as well if you're doing other things and so on as well anyway. But guys, that's going to be it from me. I've been Connor from the Cop Council. We'll see you all tomorrow. Ta-ra.